Hello, I'm Livia Nelson.
And I'm Blaze Withrow.
And this is Uctv.
What draws you to the state fair? Stay tuned because Jackson Burdecki asks students about the state fair, what appeals to them.
Also, this week, Allison Corley asks, whatever happened to gum in the high school? What has caused Union City's recent gum shortages? Has it affected the middle school as well?
Find out all of this and more this week's UCTV.
Roller coasters, corn on the cob, and corn dogs, all staples of the state fair. What's your favorite state fair festivities?
Jackson Burdecki has the Union City exclusive.
The state fair has ended this weekend, and I bet it was pretty fun. I myself didn't go, but for all the people that did go, hope you had a good time. And for all the people that didn't, you kind of missed out. Even though I didn't go, there's still all the good fair food. You got your fried ice cream, your taco salad, and your root beer in a mug. Also, I don't know if they had the fried Twinkies or not, but usually those are there. Hope that if you didn't go this year, hopefully you can go next year, and if not, you're a loser. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson.
Union City's organization meetings have officially begun.
That's right. Student Council had their first meeting last week and has elected their president. Congratulations, Lane Barger, on the honor.
Dungeons and Dragons Club has been meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays at lunch and are working together to learn some ropes on the board game. So make your way to Miss Kohler's room to place your name on the board.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes have been doing good deeds in Union City for years, such as mentoring underclassmen and blessing buddies. We hope to see even more students doing their part this school year. If you're interested, please contact Miss McReynolds for the details.
Guys, winter's right around the corner. As you probably know, it gets a little chilly. So if you don't want to freeze your toes off, make sure you go and get your varsity leather jacket.
The Jostens representative will be here next week, so get your billfold ready, because you may just be wearing your leather jacket the rest of your life.
It might, however, be smart to invest in a light jacket this week. It's finally starting to feel like fall out there.
Michael Bowles is back with Union City's 5-day weather forecast.
Michael?
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Bowles back with the weather. This week we are going to be swinging into fall. Throughout this week it will be in the 80s to the mid-70s for our highs. It's going to be cloudy with scattered showers throughout the week. Our lows for the nights will be getting chilly. The temperature will be dropping to the mid-50s to low 60s. The kids this week, remember to make sure you have a rain jacket or umbrella so you aren't getting soaked waiting for the bus. We'll be back with global weather. Thank you.
Allie.
Thank you, Michael.
The yearbook order forms are already rolling in, and if you turn yours in by September 29th, you have the opportunity to receive free icons if you buy personalization. Did you buy a yearbook last year, Blaze?
Nope.
A shame. Missing out on valuable memories, like this picture of journalism teacher Coach Schmidt. See, who wouldn't want awkward childhood pictures haunting them for the rest of their lives? Right, Jill Nelson and Christy Sepulvedo?
Well, if you have any gum,
What? Nobody chews gum anymore.
whatever happened to gum? Allison Corley uncovers the answers to the scandal.
Since the invention of gum in 1848, kids all over the world have been illegally chewing gum in class. Well, in the past 2 years, we have introduced the new Personalized Learning Center program, and some teachers have been a little more relaxed on the gum rules. But this raises a question. What happened to gum? Because now you are never going to be able to find it in the high school because it's just disappeared. The middle school is a different story. We ran into gum stickler, Coach Griggs, with his take.
Well, I guess I'm known as the gum stickler. Reason being is when I first got here 16 years ago, we had a handbook that they handed out to the students. And in that handbook, it had no chewing gum in class. Well, if you go around in the school, you can see old gum in the carpet, under desks. I'm trying to keep a lot of kids from choking on old gum. Okay? That's the main thing. It's a health and a safety issue. I don't need that. ABC gum, already been chewed. #1 cause of school death is ABC gum. All right, already been chewed gum. 2, I just can't keep kids from doing it. So they chew it, they bring it in fresh gum. So they're not supposed to do that. Not supposed to have chewing gum, so I'm sticking to that rule. I'm what you call old school. Not this new school stuff, old school. Okay? I've had former students who wrote timeless and countless essays over chewing gum. Apparently they didn't learn, so they had to move away from this school because of all the essays they had to do, and sentence writing and things like that. Old school always wins.
Hi guys. Now, we all need to remember gum is important. But where do you go if you don't have it? I'm here with Senior Casey Bieber. So, Casey, where do you get your gum when you don't have it?
Well, I usually stop by Love's and buy it after Bowtech, or I ask Mr. Bench to give me some.
Well, what if Mr. Bench doesn't have any and you didn't buy any?
Well, then I don't know. I don't know anybody else that usually buys gum.
Okay, and what do you do if y'all are both out?
I usually stop by and buy some more after a little bit.
Alright. What's your favorite kind?
It would be extra long-lasting polarized.
Alright. What do you do with it when you're done?
Usually just spit it out into the grass or in gravel anywhere.
So you don't put it underneath the desk?
No, that's horrible.
Alright, kids, remember, gum is important. Do not put it underneath the desk. And if you're in middle school, try to hide it a little bit better around your teachers.
Thank you, Allison.
Hey Liv, what's the moon's favorite type of gum?
I don't know what.
Wait for it. Orbit!
Let's send it to Michael Bowles.
As we see, we can't get rid of the hurricanes. Miley Cyrus must be extremely happy as we are having a party in the USA. Hurricane Jose has slowed down to 75 miles per hour. We have news on a new hurricane called Mariah. This hurricane is up to 125 miles per hour. On the opposite side of the U.S., there are 2 tropical storms coming up on Mexico and the U.S. Also, we have news about another earthquake happening in Mexico that ended up being a 7.1. All our prayers sent out to you guys. Back to you.
Well, Riley Loudermilk just turned 16, so guys, stay off the streaks. Alex just turned 18. Too bad you're still a kiddo to all of us. But someone older than all of us. That's Mrs. Armstrong. She just turned 24. So yeah, that means you're actually an adult now.
And let's not forget Miss Barger. Apparently, she's turning 29 this week. I think that's her 10th consecutive 29th birthday. That's pretty impressive.
Happy birthday to everyone else with the recent birthdays and upcoming birthdays.
Let's send it to Alicia Johns with some agricultural news.
As many of you know, the Oklahoma State Fair took place. The Union City FFA livestock judging team sprang into action early Thursday morning. Union City Blue placed 16th with a total score of 1,226. There were also many exhibits entered into the fair by Union City. Just a couple to mention are Jason Cheever and his grand champion Hay, and Alicia Johns with the first place decorated pumpkin in the senior division. We had members show in the swine, cattle, and sheep division. Unfortunately, it did not go our way, but these exhibitors will be showing at the Tulsa State Fair, so be on the lookout for the placings within the next few weeks. I'm still waiting to see how the goat show did, but until then, have a great week.
Just a reminder, if you seniors and juniors need to turn in any Jostens, they will be back this coming Wednesday, around 12:40. If you listen to announcements, Miss Carroll has actually been mentioning that.
Also, any senior class information, such as class flower, motto, song, and other things, needs to be turned into Coach Schmidt at the end of the week.
Speaking of senior quote, Liv, what's going to be your senior quote when you grow up that age one day?
I don't know, I haven't thought about it. I'm just a junior. What's yours if you graduate?
Well, since you asked, eat big, lift big, and leave a big coffin.
Speaking of exercise, let's send it to Jack with sports.
The Tigers played in the Calumet Fall Tournament on September 14th through September 16th. The Tigers played Verdon in the first round on Thursday and demolished the Tigers with 16 hits and a 13-3 run. The second day, after beating Calumet 5-2, the Tigers played number 5 in Class A, Fort Cobb, in a close 1-11 loss. On the final day of the tournament, the Tigers advanced to the championship game after beating Fargo 9-1. The Tigers had a rematch against Fort Cobb in the final game of the tournament. Friday night, Union City took on number 5 ranked Fort Cobb in the semifinals of the winners bracket. The Tigers started off hot, scoring right off the bat with a 2-out double from junior Wyatt Norton and being drove in from senior Zane Robo. The lead wasn't for long as the Mustangs took over in the second inning, and it was too much for the Tigers as they lost the game 1-11. The next day, the Tigers looked to battle through the losers bracket with a game against Fargo. The Tigers grabbed an early lead and didn't slow down. An outstanding pitching performance from Zane Robo held Fargo to 1 run as the Tigers won the game 9-1. Robo only gave up 2 hits through 7 innings and struck out 13 batters. Robo also helped himself out on the mound by hitting a solo shot in the 7th inning. Later that night, the Tigers had a rematch against Fort Cobb in the championship game. Union City produced 7 hits through 6 innings, but could not get a run on the board. The Tigers lost the game 8-0, but got second place in the tournament. Hopefully this week, the Union City Tigers season is still alive, and they're still in playoffs playing in the regional tournament. I'll let you know how the district games turned out next week. The volleyball team traveled to Hennessy to take on the Lady Eagles last Monday. Then the following day they went to OKC to play Harding Fine Arts and defeated the Lady Firehawks 3-0. The number 10 ranked Lady Tigers played against the Hennessy Eagles in their second meeting of the season. The Lady Tigers jumped out on top as hitter Hunter Johnson was on fire. There was no stopping the Tigers as they won the first set 25-6 and kept it going. While the ladies executed their offense perfectly, their defense was just the same, winning the next 2 sets 25-4 and 25-17, beating the Lady Eagles 3-0. The Lady Tigers will be taking on number 3 ranked Crossings Christian in a home game on Monday to play a tune-up game before the regional tournament this week. I'll give you the score updates next week. I'm Jack Walkabout. Back to you, Liv.
Hey guys, as most of you know, Snapchat is probably today's generation's #1 form of communication, trumping texting, calling, and even talking in person. It made us here at UCTV wonder, do we really know these people we talk to on Snapchat? So we took to the halls of Union City to ask, who do we know better, our friends or our friends' Snapchats? What's Callie Sexton's middle name?
Not sure.
What's the last Snapchat story she posted?
It was a picture of Criminal Minds she was watching.
How many surgeries has Caitlin Maddox had?
I would guess about 3.
What's the last animal she featured on her Snapchat story?
Her cat.
What sign is Wyatt Norton?
I honestly don't know.
How many days have you had a streak with him?
189.
What month was Shauna Rogers born?
November.
How many emojis does she have next to her username on Snapchat?
3.
How many dogs does Riley Loudermilk own?
6.
What's Riley Loudermilk's Snap score?
600,000.
What's Jennifer Metcalf's horse's name?
Molly.
What's Jennifer's Snapchat username?
Jennifer4217.
What's Bryn Barger's baby brother's name?
Eric.
What color is her Bitmoji's shoes?
White.
When is Bailey Showers' birthday?
April 5th.
How long have you and Bailey had a streak?
25 days.
What's Carson Logan's mom's name?
Suzanne.
What's Carson Logan's profile picture on Snapchat?
A winky face.
Well guys, I think that answered our question. But on a serious note, be careful who you have on Snapchat because some people may not be who they say they are. And make sure you know who is seeing your location. I'm Olivia Nelson, UCTV News.
That was an interesting story, Liv. Guys, seriously, make sure you're being safe when you're using social media.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Nelson.
And I'm Blaze Bithrow.
And this is UCTV.
Hey there, Slim Chickens. I've been getting a lot of requests on how I make these pins, and I thought I might as well just make an entire video dedicated on how I make them. So sit back, relax, and let's get cracking. If you're too lazy or impatient to follow all these steps, then I will be selling these pins. I have letter pins, sticker pins, and smaller heart pins. The big pins are $5 and the small pins are $2, so hit me up. In making these pins, I'm going to be using part A and part B of epoxy resin. And the first step you want to do is you want to pour equal parts, part A and B. So I'm just going to pour about 5 milliliters of part A into this measuring cup. That is 100% mine and definitely not stolen from our medicine cabinet. And then just go ahead and pour in about the same amount of part B. And next, you want to mix them together for about 8 minutes. This is the most important part, so go ahead, set a timer, and start mixing. You gotta make sure to mix it slow and nice and even. And Cuckoo-cuckoo-choo. It's been 8 minutes and it's mixed, so we're gonna go ahead and pour it into our silicone molds. Accidentally mixed too much, and now we're just gonna make 2 instead of 1. So once you've poured your resin mixture in and placed your beads where you want them, you're gonna have to wait about an hour to put the glitter in. Okay, so now it's been about an hour and we're gonna start adding the glitter in. This is the fun part. Okay, so I've mixed up a second batch of resin for the back of the pins, and now we're just going to add our colors. I personally like to add a bit of powdered highlighter to make them shiny into my resin pockets. And now to color your resin, you can do it one of a few ways. You can add acrylic paint. And with acrylic paint, you really only want to add about this much acrylic paint into the resin. Then you can just stir to get that nice color. And you really want to make sure to stir it really good and get it all in there. And now the second way to do it is to add eyeshadow that is 100% yours and not your sister's. And just go ahead and just chip it off and put it in there. And stir. The next step is waiting. Now if you added the acrylic paint, you're going to have to wait about 24 hours for it to dry and harden. But if you added the eyeshadow, then you're going to have to wait about 12 hours for it to harden. Okay, so it's been roughly 24 hours and our pins are nice and solid, so let's go ahead and pop them out. This is my all-time favorite part of making these pins, just popping them out. And here we go. And now the final step of making these pins, gluing on the backs. And that is how you make these pins. Thank you and good night.
I'm Alex. Welcome back to Chips Chat. Today we have special guest Reagan Rice. So, Reagan, are you a new student here?
Yeah,
What grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
Do you mind telling me where you came from?
I came from Dibble.
Do you like it better here?
Yeah.
Me too. So, are you like an artist or anything? I've heard you're an artist.
I mean, I've been working on a thing called Pinhead Larry.
Is this it right here?
Yep.
This is her Pinhead Larry. It's pretty great, honestly. Really detailed. So do you like Wayne Barger's art show?
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Is that your favorite one? It's my favorite one too. She makes those cool pins.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. So is there anything interesting about yourself you want to tell us?
Not really.
Do you have any cool talents or anything?
I'm just a normal person.
Okay. So no cool talents? Okay.
Besides drawing Pinhead Larry, because I do that when I get bored.
Can you draw anything else?
Depends on what you want me to draw.
Can you draw a goat?
Probably.
I want you to draw a goat.
Okay.
This is Reagan. She's a 7th grader. Join us next week for another special guest.